Welcome back to Afropage, your go-to source for staying updated on the latest and most thrilling news from all over the globe. Hold on to your seats as Mali makes a bold move, accusing France of sabotaging their economy with counterfeit money. It's a showdown you won't want to miss. Introduction. Mali, a West African nation with a complex history and fragile economy, has accused its former colonial ruler, France, of economic sabotage. The Malian government alleges that France has been undermining its economy through the circulation of counterfeit money. This accusation has intensified already strained relations between the two countries and has significant implications for regional stability and international relations. Mali and France share a long and intricate history, rooted in the era of colonialism. Mali gained independence in 1960 and has maintained a strong influence over Mali, often seen in its involvement in Malian politics and security. The Malian economy is predominantly agrarian, with significant portions of its GDP dependent on agriculture, mining, and informal sectors. Despite abundant natural resources, Mali remains one of the world's poorest countries, grappling with issues such as poverty, inadequate infrastructure, and political instability. The Malian currency, the West African CFA franc, is pegged to the euro and guaranteed by the French treasury, further linking Mali's economic fate to France. The accusation has far-reaching consequences, including a significant breach of international norms, severe diplomatic fallout, and questions about the stability and governance of the CFA franc, affecting all member states of the West African Economic and Monetary Union, (WEMU). Additionally, the allegation exacerbates the already tense relationship between Mali and France, potentially influencing France's strategic and economic policies in West Africa. Mali strikes France. France has been accused of engaging in economic sabotage by printing counterfeit CFA franc notes, a move that has brought to the forefront long-standing tensions between Mali and its former colonizer, France. The CFA franc, an acronym for African Financial Community, was introduced on December 26, 1945, and is currently used by 14 African nations, predominantly former French colonies. These countries are divided into two economic unions: the West African Economic and Monetary Union, (WEMU), and the Central African Economic and Monetary Community, (CEMAC). The CFA franc system was aimed at fostering economic stability and facilitating development in the post-colonial era. However, this arrangement has been a subject of intense debate, particularly from a pro-Africa and anti-West perspective. The creation of the CFA franc coincided with the end of World War II, a period when European powers, including France, were grappling with the loss of their colonial empires. France sought to retain its influence over its former colonies by embedding economic and financial controls within their newly independent structures. The CFA franc is pegged to the euro, a mechanism overseen by the French treasury. This means that the value of the CFA franc is directly linked to the value of the euro, which France controls. Supporters argue that this arrangement offers several benefits, including currency stability, low inflation rates, and a safeguard against devaluation. However, this perspective often overlooks the profound economic and political implications of such a system. The CFA franc has significant political ramifications, as the continued influence of France in the monetary policies of African countries underscores a broader neo-colonial relationship. The arrangement symbolizes a lack of true sovereignty and self-determination as key aspects of economic governance remain under foreign control. The CFA franc is a tool of economic imperialism, allowing France to exert significant influence over the political and economic affairs of its former colonies. This influence can manifest in various ways, from dictating economic policies to leveraging financial control for political gains. Before Mali's president said something about the economic sabotage done by the CFA franc, there had already been many issues within Africa. There has been a growing movement within Africa to reform or abolish the CFA franc in recent years. Critics argue that the currency system is outdated and incompatible with the aspirations of African nations for true economic independence. The push for reform gained momentum in 2019 when the leaders of WEMU announced plans to replace the CFA franc with the ECO, a new currency intended to be free from French oversight. The recent remarks by Mali's President Assimi Goïta have sent shockwaves through both Mali and the broader international community. Goïta alleges that France, under the guise of maintaining economic stability, has been secretly printing counterfeit CFA franc notes. The CFA franc, used by 14 countries in West and Central Africa, is a currency system with deep colonial roots, still tied to the French treasury and pegged to the euro. Goïta asserts that France's actions are a deliberate attempt to sabotage Mali's economy by flooding the market with counterfeit notes, leading to hyperinflation and eroding the purchasing power of the country. The historical context of French interference in the economic and political affairs of its former colonies is crucial to understanding the depth of Assimi Goïta's claims. In 1960, Guinea under President Ahmed Sékou Touré chose to break away from French control and pursue genuine independence. France allegedly engaged in economic sabotage by withdrawing its administrative and technical support overnight, and purportedly printing and flooding Guinea with counterfeit currency to destabilize its economy. This historical precedent lends credence to Goïta's accusations, suggesting a pattern of behavior where economic manipulation is used as a tool of control and punishment. If the accusations are true, the economic implications would be disastrous. The introduction of fake currency into the market increases the money supply without a corresponding increase in goods and services, leading to inflation. Inflation erodes the value of money, making everyday goods more expensive for the average citizen and reducing overall economic stability. In severe cases, hyperinflation can occur where prices rise uncontrollably and the currency loses almost all its value. Mali, already grappling with political instability and security challenges, could exacerbate existing problems. The loss of confidence in the currency could lead to capital flight, where investors and citizens move their money out of the country to safer havens. This would further deplete Mali's foreign exchange reserves, weaken the banking system, and stifle economic growth. Beyond the economic consequences, the allegations carry significant political weight, as President Assimi Goïta, who came to power through a military coup, has faced considerable international pressure and criticism. Alleging French sabotage could be a strategic move to rally domestic support by framing his administration as a defender of national sovereignty against neo-colonial interference. The allegations have broader implications for Franco-African relations, as France's relationship with its former colonies has always been complex, characterized by a mix of cooperation, dependency, and tension. The allegations of economic sabotage, whether substantiated or not, constrain diplomatic ties and foster a climate of mistrust for France. These allegations are damaging and undermine France's image as a partner in Africa's development, and instead paint it as a neo-colonial power bent on retaining control through underhanded tactics. Transparency is crucial to restoring trust and ensuring that the truth is uncovered. Both Mali and France must engage international bodies such as the African Union and the United Nations to conduct an impartial inquiry into the claims. If the allegations are proven true, it would necessitate a significant reckoning in Franco-African relations and potentially lead to reparations and policy changes. In the face of allegations that France is deliberately printing counterfeit CFA franc notes to destabilize Mali's economy, President Goïta has taken decisive action to minimize the potential impact of such sabotage. He has called for the form of a national currency committee comprised of economic experts, government officials, and representatives from the private sector, which will oversee the design, production, and implementation of the new currency. The government plans to launch a comprehensive public awareness campaign to educate citizens about the benefits of the new currency, the reasons behind the change, and the steps involved in the transition process. The history of French involvement in Mali dates back to the colonial era, when it was part of French Sudan. Since gaining independence in 1960, Mali's relationship with France has been complex, characterized by continued economic, political, and military influence. This historical backdrop has led to accusations of France actively trying to destabilize Mali. The West African states, EAS, and the European Union, EU, have played significant roles in Mali's recent economic difficulties under substantial French influence. These organizations imposed severe sanctions, including border closures and trade embargoes, which disrupted the Malian economy. These actions were ostensibly in response to political instability and the military coup that brought President Assimi Goïta to power. However, many Malians perceive these measures as punitive actions designed to weaken the country and maintain neo-colonial control. The sanctions exacerbated existing economic hardships, contributing to inflation and increasing the cost of living. This led to widespread discontent and social unrest. The economic strain also weakened Mali's ability to fund essential services, further destabilizing the nation. Despite these alleged efforts, Mali has shown resilience and a capacity to detect and respond to these challenges. President Assimi Goïta and his administration have taken steps to counteract the economic sabotage and reduce Mali's dependency on external influences. Thank you for watching this video. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and leave a comment in the comment section below.